we're thinking about changing our French fries. For me, a perfect chip is what Heston did with a triple cooked chip. A French fry isn't typically cooked 3 times because you're not trying to break down the outside to get different layers of oil and fishes in there. We've got 3 different methods that we're going to work on today. One of them is just really simple. It's just going to be confit. This is a mixture of duck and chicken fat, and then fried. Then we're just going to do a double fry, and then we're going to try one which is blanch and fry. I've just put them into ice salted water, so it's already started that sort of seasoning process. I've cut them into there, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of starch already in the potato, so I'm actually just going to take these potatoes over to the sink and wash them out again. So starch is basically the enemy of a fry because it caramelizes quicker, and you won't be able to get a crispier fry with the more starch present in a potato. So lots of work in chip manufacturer goes into making sure that potatoes have been harvested at the right time, making sure that they're rinsed properly. So they'll start to run clear nicely now. Chef. Okay, so the first one we're going to try is going to be the blanching method. The reason we're going to do these first is just because they're going to be chilling down for a little bit longer. So the blanching works really well because it also helps to remove a layer of starch from the potatoes too. And when you do triple cooked chips, typically what you're trying to do at this stage is to break down most of the chip so then the oil can get inside afterwards. But we don't want to do that here, so we're going to take them a little bit less. And then just whilst they're cooking, we'll put some into our preheated chicken fat. So this is really nice and low. So the inspiration for this technique came from the fact that I heard somewhere that McDonald's used to do all of their old school original chips confit, and they used to have a technique. So I'm hoping that these are an absolute knockout. Temperature of the oil is roughly about 110 degrees C, so very low. Again, what we want to do is cook the potato all the way through. When you cook a vegetable in fat and when you confit it, rather than what's happening in here is basically lots of any nutrient that's in the potatoes, any starch is escaping into the water. That doesn't happen in fat. So some of these things aren't soluble and they don't go into the water and escape, so you don't lose the goodness. Whether you're using beef fat, duck fat, chicken fat, it's all got a different characteristic. So in theory, our chips from here should taste better and hopefully they crisp up really nicely. I think these might be crispier, but these might be tastier. And then we've got another method that we're going to do at the back, which is just going to be the double fry. So we'll probably do 2 fries, one when the oil gets to 120 degrees and allow them to chill, and then one when the oil gets to 180 degrees. It's always going to be a 2-stage cooking process. So these will chill down, these will be chilled too, and even between fries we'll chill these. That's important because the moisture is going to be allowed to escape out of the spud. In theory, give you a crisper end result. Okay, so these have been cooking now for about 8 minutes and they're fully cooked all the way through. I'm just going to put them onto my towel. I have a few comments about these towels. Basically, we try not to use any disposable cleaning equipment in the restaurant. So we boil these and we clean them every night, and they only contact basically non-high risk food. Anything that's meat or fish gets thrown away, but they're much cheaper, much more sustainable. And then I've got the last remaining ones here from before. These are going to go into the 120 degree oil, just using rapeseed oil. The Americans call it canola oil. And we're going to fry these quite nice and slowly. A little bit too much oil in there. It's not normally a problem in the kitchen, but please be careful at home. Yeah, less oil in the pan. It just shows you that even the professionals can sometimes make a mistake. Uh-oh. So it's on 120 exactly, but it was probably a little bit hot when I put them in there. So I'm gonna cook those for about 4 or 5 minutes. Now let's check out the confit ones. I suspect these are fully cooked now. Oh yeah, they're definitely cooked. They've actually held their shape really nicely as well. I guess it's a lot more gentle than the process of boiling them away. It's looking like this might be a winner. Whack those ones in the fridge. Okay, so this has been frying now for about 6 minutes. They're actually looking beautiful, really nice and crispy, but they've not got that colour on them. So these have just been in for 6 minutes. They went in at about probably 160 degrees, but then pan dropped to about 120 for 6 minutes. You can see they're already pretty, sort of almost a bit dehydrated on the outside. We'll whack those all in the fridge to cool down. Okay, so the first one we're going to try is the blanched ones. What we can see is that you've always got these like little bits of like these little fissures like you get with triple cooked chips. That makes sense because it's exactly the same method, just on a much smaller scale. So that dehydration there shows us that there's a lot less moisture in that chip. So that's just until it's completely cold. This won't take long at all. I mean, I think we're really looking at about 2 or 3 minutes here. The one thing is, you'll definitely get a lot more wastage with this process, and you've got to get a big massive pan of boiling water on as well. So if you were to go with the confit route, you could potentially do them in the oven. Nice high heat. Whoa, they're looking great. And then always with French fries, absolutely need fine salt, never flaky salt. Oh, and I've got some nice herb salt here. I've got a little bit of rosemary salt. Fresh paper towels to drain the grease off really nicely. So they've actually been in for about 3 or 4 minutes. They've not actually got that much colour, which means that the process of blanching them and rinsing them has really nicely got rid of all of that starch in there. Now that I've done that, I can get them nice and crispy. So I don't know if anyone knows the historical origins of a French fry, but it is not in fact French. It is from Belgium. So the Americans affectionately called it the French fry after the war, because I don't think they understood which part of Europe they were in. Please leave some comments in the comment section if you think that's not representative of what happened. But okay, so these have been in quite a long time, so they're actually really struggling to get that really beautiful golden brown, which is interesting. I'll probably leave them in there for a little bit longer, but then I'll take them out. Okay, so fries are finished. They're looking pretty good. I'll take them out to drain. And these are our basic entry-level boiled and fried, but not as boiled as a triple cooked chip, with a little bit of herb salt. So these have been in the oil already. I mean, this is basically just a Belgian frite. This is exactly how they do them in the Belgian frite shops. They pre-blanch them in the oil, they get them ready, they leave them up on a rack, and then when they come on order, they fry them again. Oh, so interestingly enough, these are cooking much quicker. So they've obviously already been dehydrated in the oil a little bit before, and I think these are going to be the clear winner. They're already looking beautiful and golden brown. They've only been in there for about 1.5 minutes. So this oil now is at about 180, 190 degrees. So really nice and hot. And the other thing with these is they hold their shape really nicely, so there's going to be very little wastage. I'm going to take these out right now. They've only been in there for 2.5 minutes. Super crispy, really nice, beautiful colour. And then the last one to have a go at is our confit, which have just slightly broken apart a little bit. Obviously, because of the confit fat, they become a little bit hard to handle. And then our confit have actually almost got a nice bit of texture on them. I'm hoping what happens here is that the flavour wins on the confit. So we're looking at about the same time that the second ones came out. We're going to need another minute, I think, at least. Right, so I think we're here. I think we're there now on the confit, and they look absolutely banging, to be honest. They even smell great coming out because they've got that chicken duck fat aroma. Into bowls.
Chef?
3 different fries.
Three different fries.
3 different methods. 1 potato, all agree are potatoes. We're going to see. I won't tell you the methods until afterwards.
This one looks the worst.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Agreed.
This one tastes more like a roast potato.
It's got a proper different, much more developed flavour than it. And it's, to be honest, it's definitely crispier. I know the other one's been out there prior for a bit, but it's got like almost little cracks around the edging.
I don't dislike this one. It's more like a chip shop chip.
Yeah, exactly. Right, time to reveal. Rate them 1 to 3, and I will reveal the methods.
Probably got to be 1 on this one.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think the flavour is much better on this. So this one is confit. This bad boy, double fried. So fried once, fried again. Basically what you would get in a traditional Belgian chip house. And then this bad boy, blanched in water, chilled down, then fried again. These are good, but they're not like, there's not any depth to them. They're not anything special, they're just really standard fries. I think these are all quite hard to produce. They're too much of the starch has been removed almost, so they're very pale and they're very hard to colour, and you have to fry them for too long so they get almost sort of wrinkly and dehydrated and pale. The winner is confit.